I don't know whatever happened to young Shkreli. I'm not worried about it, I'll say that. He was a Baruch College student, but he was very troubled with some psychological issues. I meet with a lot of Baruch College students who, or at least I talk to a bunch that, looking to make it in Wall Street, make it in the big city. Most of kids from Baruch College who go to Baruch College are from the inner city. Their families don't have fancy last names. They're not going to NYU or Columbia. They can't afford it. They didn't go to fancy high schools, but they're gritty. They work hard. And a lot of their families are immigrants, or they themselves are immigrants. And, there's definitely a lot of opportunity. Our sister college is Hunter College. Hunter College is another pretty good school for City College. It's a really great school. And there's a billionaire hedge fund manager who went there, Leon Cooperman. And he's been the big donor to Hunter College. I went to Hunter College High School, which is a very different kind of school. It's a very specialized school. It's very, very hard to get into. But it's also a meritocracy. Hunter and Baruch don't have the academic excellence of say, Columbia or NYU, but, it's all the same books. It's sort of what you make of it, right? The other students don't have the scholastic aptitude to really compete on a high level. It's not that there aren't smart people there are, but in general, there are smarter students at NYU and Columbia. They may not work as hard, they may not have common sense. Look at Sam Bankman-Fried. He got into MIT, possibly we're starting to learn, maybe not because he was so smart, but because his family was so well positioned. And that's the thing I like to talk about when it comes to family, people in family getting you places in life. That is the silliest, stupidest thing to me, because you end up failing if you're not prepared for, rigorous, difficult career. No, it doesn't matter who your family is. You could be Chelsea Clinton. You could be, Hunter Biden, a good example. If you're a fuck up, you're a fuck up. If you're smart, you're smart. It's not going to help you that much to be daddy's, second coming, because ultimately people are going to take you for who you are, not for who your father was, your mother, or whatever. That stuff's all bullshit. And it's just funny to see people think that that's going to be their big, or when people complain that other people got that big leg up in life because of their parents. It's all nonsense. You might get a door open for you, but that door could slam shut, and you'll embarrass your parents. That happens a lot. And say, oh man, when the door closes, they say, geez, John's not as smart as his father. Yeah, well, I guess he didn't get the genes, and they laugh at you. That's what happens. If you're a fuck up, you're a fuck up. Nothing's going to save that. No matter what your last name is or who your grandparents were or whatever. You might get a job, and then when the boss changes or something like that, and they say, well, who the fuck is this guy? I don't give a fuck who his parents are. If he can't do this, then he's out. And that's how it works. So, life is more fair than people think it is. I think we just tend to complain. Again, we want simpler explanations like, oh, there's a new world order, George Soros controls everything. Man, George Soros wishes he controlled everything. There are megalomaniac people who wish they had more power than they do, and they'll pretend and they'll floss. But, it's not that easy. A little money is not what makes the world go round. There's a lot more to it than that. But anyway, it looks like Sam Bankman's going to be in a lot of trouble. It looks like FTX, and I am stunned. The bankruptcy trustee has taken over for Sam Bankman. And this guy has found that FTX lent, and I use that word loosely, lent Sam Bankman $3 billion. $1 billion directly to him and $2 billion to one of his companies, which is basically the same thing. If you've ever had some company hold some of your money for you, that's pretty typical type of stuff. So $3 billion, can you believe that? $3 billion. None of it is his money. It's all the customers' money. It's their money, not his money. What the F? Is he going to repay it? I wouldn't hold my breath, I'll tell you that. Alright, I'm going to fix some more code. I'm just playing a little Rust here. This is a game I'm addicted to. It's really bad. I have to focus on work, but I end up playing this stupid game. I always say to myself, just 5 minutes, just a few more minutes. And a few more minutes ends up being 30 minutes. I look at the clock and oh my gosh, it's several hours after I thought it was. One more game, one more game, one more game. I was gonna have a LAN party, but I don't know, I guess there aren't that many LAN parties. I was gonna start with my friend Sweekeasy, who's in the audience. Yeah, so they gave him $3 billion. Who approved the loan? He approved the loan. Yes, I'm willing to lend you money. Well, at what rate? You know, usually there's an interest rate. And what collateral do you have, Mr. Bankman? Well, well, I have very good collateral. Thank you for asking, Mr. Bankman. Okay, Mr. Bankman, your loan has been approved. Well, what's the interest rate, Mr. Bankman? I'll decide that later, Mr. Bankman. Yes, Mr. Bankman. Well, thank you very much. Pleasure to do business with you, Mr. Bankman. Absolutely, Mr. Bankman. How does that work? Now, I have to admit, I did do something like this once, myself. And it was a very dark day for me. My business was not doing well, and yes, it led to my prosecution. Again, not proud of it. I've learned a lot of lessons. I took $26,000 from my company. $26,000. I said, you know, I'm entitled to a living wage. I feel like, and this was not in one shot. This was like a few $1,000s at a time. I said, I think I should be able to pay my bills and, you know, just have an ability to, you know, stay solvent and pay for food and things like that. And it was wrong. I did it, $26,000. And I regret it. I paid that back to the tune of $8 million. So that was a big penalty for that. Again, not proud of it. Would not encourage anybody to do it either. I felt desperate. You know, my investors forgave me. Most of them did. They did really well. So they were like, you know what? Maybe he deserves $26,000. It's okay. Now, I got 7 years in prison for that. $3 billion? Now, I had a hedge fund, so, you know, it made sense. More so than this, which was, this is not your money, dude. These are everybody else's money. They're trusting you to take that money and hold it for them while they trade or invest or whatever. Instead, they didn't say, hey, go take this money and give it to yourself? What? The fuck? My dude. What are you doing?